Hello, fabulous superstar Leo. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of May 2025. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. Consultations are now available with me or Andy of Wise As Astrology over on my website, nadiyashah.com/consultations, links below. We've got an incredibly important start of the month for you, and that is because on the 3rd of the month, that is when Mars in your sign will leave shadow, bringing an end to the larger Mars retrograde season that we have been in since the first days of October 2024. That's how long it's been that Mars was first starting shadow, walking the path that eventually Mars began to go retro over at the beginning of December. And then Mars went direct in the middle of February. And now here we are with Mars in your sign leaving shadow. It means that Mars will now be on brand new territory. And while Mars will stay in your sign until the middle of June, it is now that you likely are going to feel that much more as if you're not having to look at the same thing again and again and explore your power, your drive, your real motivations, and see what happened before differently in the context of understanding your drives more deeply. Now, as wonderful as the journey towards self-knowledge is, and if that sounds like you on any given day, that tendency will be there, but it won't be as acute as it might have felt over the last months. And so now here we are with Mars leaving shadow, but still in your sign. You get a chance to understand your power in new ways, but also it's that contrast between power and powerlessness that any given Mars transit invites us to explore. You focusing your efforts on where you have power and towards the changes you desire to experience, well, you'll have the energy to make great gains now. On the 4th of the month, Pluto goes retro. And as Pluto goes retro in your opposite sign, this invites you to turn that energy of power into one of the power of contemplation. Whenever it is that a planet goes retro, its energies turn inward, and it invites us to look at our own part, our own role in the context of whatever events might be happening in that area of life the planet is in, but also how it is that we embody and use that energy, and is it to our advantage or not? Well, we get to get honest with ourselves and make some choices. With Pluto going retro in your opposite sign, it's very much about who you are in partnership and how you feel about that. It's one thing to say, who is this other person? Business partnerships, professional alliances, romantic as well, though we'll talk about love more specifically in just a moment. But regardless, it's one thing to focus on the actions of another. It's another thing to really look at oneself and say, how have I participated in certain dynamics? Where do I need to forgive myself in certain dynamics, past or present? And where is it that certain dynamics, actually, I'm going to love myself enough to go another way? There are different layers to how we might find ourselves in messy alliances, but Pluto can get messy. And if that's been a trend, at least now you're going to see it and start to explore what it is you might want to do next. On the 12th of the month, we will have this month's full moon, and the full moon takes place at the foundation of your chart, having to do with home, the past, your living situation, your family of origin, your parents in particular, and it has to do with feeling at home within yourself, in your body, in your skin. And we have got, well, it is a full moon that's erratic. We've got Uranus right across the sky from this full moon, and that suggests unexpected realizations, events, happenings happening very quickly, but also having the potential to resolve very quickly as well. There's a lot of emotion that might stir and come right to the surface very quickly at this time, but it is also able to find insight and truth. That is the thing with Uranus. There's always an eye towards truth with Uranus. And so understanding the reality of where you live, how you really feel about it, For some, it might be that you have to change something about your living situation very quickly in unexpected ways. For others still, this might be new insights into your past or a new understanding of your family of origin, particularly your family dynamics. And by seeing it differently now, well, you get to decide what you're going to repeat and what you no longer need to do because you choose to go another way, more self-directed from here. 5 days later, on the 17th of the month, that is when we will have what some astrologers call the most shocking day of the year, the most surprising day of the year. That is when we have Uranus meeting the sun in the sky. And this divine meeting is taking place at the top of your sky, having to do with career, social standing, life purpose. This is an energy of extremes. Either the extreme is an acceleration, a big leap forward, a big advancement or opportunity or clarity about purpose, or it is going to be a powerful insight into what isn't working. It could be the loss of a particular opportunity that happens very quickly in unexpected ways, or again, an opportunity coming out of nowhere with a will of its own. But that's the thing to remember, because we're dealing with the outer planets, whatever happens, it does have a karmicness to it, meaning its time has come. And whether that means that there's a sudden end or a sudden beginning or a big leap forward, and this could be a boss or person in position of authority having a very surprise announcement at this time as well. Regardless, it's like it isn't necessarily you at the forefront of making the change. It's what's showing up. And as you accept it, you're able to then find your power within it. On the 25th of the month, Saturn changes signs. Saturn will move into fellow fire sign Aries. And this is a part of the sky for you that has to do with understanding your place in the world, long distance travel, immigration, citizenship, higher learning, legal matters, as well as your personal beliefs about the world that guide your life. Having Saturn in this part of the sky, and wherever Saturn goes, it's like we know our most important learning is there. Well, it does suggest you're about to have a whole lot of more experiences. You're about to take on new adventures. You're about to feel as if the world opens up for you and you're able to know yourself and the stability within by understanding the world differently. Now, for others, this might not be travel. It could be very metaphorical. It could be political involvement that starts happening for you now, or it might be a philosophical or spiritual exploration that finds you. Regardless of what takes place, understand that you are at the beginning of a journey that's going to be about 3 years in the making. Right about now, it is Saturn that's just dipping into this part of the sky, will retrograde back out once we get a little bit further. Just before Halloween is when that retrograding out happens. And the next year in time for Valentine's Day, that's when Saturn will move back here for a longer stay. I'll have more to say about that in the Saturn special horoscope coming later this month, so be on the lookout for that. The next day, on the 26th of the month, we have a very fortunate new moon that is set to take place in a friendship part of your sky. This new moon is speaking in supreme harmony with Pluto, in harmony with Saturn, Neptune, and close in the sky with Mercury. And all of that suggests new friends, new possibilities, new power player friends at that, joining new groups that have the potential to help you to transform your circumstances for the better and helping you to gain power. And it is really big opportunities that can feel as if they become that much more accessible to you now. So stay open to possibility. I actually think that this is super exciting energy. At the very least, you'll be having fun in groups and with others. There'll be social invitations, and it is in the context of those environments, like gathering with others, that you're able to feel as if things are changing for you in the best possible sense. Now, where it comes to matters of love for you, I'm actually going to talk more about Pluto. I think that's going to be the big factor. Remember, you are in the early stages of a journey that's going to be 20 years in the making, where you will understand partnerships of all kinds differently, including romantic partnerships at that, your power within them and the power that you don't have. Outside of that, though, I will say Mars in your sign leaves shadow. You are about to feel a whole lot more frisky. And I say that also because Venus will leave shadow on the 16th. That larger Venus retrograde season will come to an end, and Venus is in fellow fire sign Aries, a venture part of the sky for you. And these two are going to speak in supreme harmony on the 22nd of the month. And what that suggests is you are feeling very connected, very open, very filled with possibility in the context of love and romance and maybe even some passionate moments as well. For those of you open to meeting someone new, well, look, Pluto going retro invites you to understand your own intensity, your own sultriness, your own power, where it comes to aligning with greater love and the type of love that you desire. There will likely be a romantic moment that happens about 3 weeks into this month that feels like it wakes you up in some way, especially physically, spurring you forward towards appreciating the options available to you in the context of love. For those of you just starting to date somebody, I actually love Pluto going retro because it's going to invite you to get really honest about what you feel about this person and why, and where it is that perhaps some change is due for you. And what I mean by that is there any way in which you feel like you're giving away your power? And how do you define that? This is a chance for you to look at that more deeply. And the fact that Mars leaves shadow and Mars is in your sign at this time, right around the same time, well, that suggests you're very aware of your own desires and your own appeal as well. And it will be about 3 weeks into the month that there's set to be a romantic moment that I think is really going to help you to expand your horizons and give you an overall feeling of greater optimism in love, whether that's with this person or with someone new. And for those of you in an established bond, well, Pluto going retro invites you to understand your partner more deeply, but also understand yourself and how you feel about the partnership. And so it gives you a chance to reflect and to understand some truth about you in the context of this bond. Where relationships are good, well, they're about to feel more frisky, more connected, a whole lot more fun as you navigate later and later into this month. For that small percent, if you felt that you might not be in the right relationship for you, Pluto going retro is going to help you to examine what's really going on there, what that's really about, and what it is you might want to do next. What I love about this month for you, there's so much here. It's a powerful and meaningful astrological moment. Well, let's see. You've got so much going on, but I will say Mars in your sign leaving shadow in many ways is the star of the show. The harder moment of Mars retrograde season is now going to be more and more behind you, which is those ongoing oppositions that Mars had with Pluto. That's good and over now. And instead, you're going to start to get a taste of the best of Mars. With Mars continuing to move through your sign, it is a chance for you to own your power, to accept powerlessness, and to understand that some of the best changes, well, you can be at the forefront of making them happen. Well, thank you so much for watching. You can get a video like this each and every week for each and every sign for as low as just $3 a month with Choose Your Membership rate over at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com, where you get expanded exclusive video scopes for each and every sign. Higher tiers get you things like all access passes to Synchronicity University events, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the Superstar space at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com, links below. Thank you again for watching. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.